Hello guys, and thank you for choosing to tune into this episode of Held Dominance. I have decided to do this episode in response to the sending off of New Brown, and hopefully a perspective way at why the laws have gone this way. Before I do that, please remember to like and subscribe and click this notification bell, or that notification bell, for more channel content coming your way in the near future. So there has indeed been a massive uproar and backlash from people inside or spectating the game in the UK due to the new interpretation of the rules regarding headshots. This has seen an uptake of red and yellow cards to penalise the offending player's actions in making those contacts. Some people have said that the rules are too strict, and others exploded off the map spouting that the game is gone. I've had the thoughts the new red card was very harsh, and still do, even though writing this script for the channel. But was the warning signs back in 2022 there to tell us that the sport was going to go this way? Why do I say that? Well, it was revealed in the many press outlets that Ace Chubb was not going to be the insurer of choice by the RFL due to premiums going up and by more than 3 times the agreed amount of the year before. This was a blow for rugby league, as a 2-decade-long partner had decided that they were not going to look at rugby league as their partner. But the result was rugby league started looking around for other insurance to insure them. What was the reason? Well, I think it was staring us in the face, as 2021 saw a new court case of former players suffering from the possible effects of playing the sport during brutal times. You've all seen the the videos, bicepping for one instance, and swinging arm second contact we saw in the infamous Dirty Get reel. These are players who have right to see if they are affected by the sport's headshots, and were right to seek damages if they were indeed not educated or looked after by the ones they play for, be it the fans, coaches, club staff, and the league runners, or even the sport as a whole. The knock-on effects of this was the sport was worried and needed to make a bold choice. The formation of a rugby league cares was made, and the sport needed to look for an insurer to make sure that rugby league was still legal to play even. No insurance, no cover, no game can be played. In March of 2022, the RFL's head of legal and operations, Robert Hicks, is believed to have informed Super League head coaches during a meeting which took place on Wednesday, a Wednesday of that month, explaining that the concerns over the game being insured was one of the several contributing factors behind the recent changes made to the sport to demonstrate that the protocols were put in place to reduce the number of head contacts taking place during games. Those changes have been informed after using new medical and science knowledge into impacts on players. Hicks is said to have also warned coaches down the line that contact load of players would be assessed, which would look at the physical duress players were being put under in training, though it remains unclear how and when that would have come to fruition. We're seeing in the future, as it came further on, that the introduction of gum shields with microchips were put on. We've also got rules in regards to tackling heights coming in. That's the one thing rugby league needed to do, is be proactive. And proactive to get an insurer to cover the sport. This was harder due to that 2021 announcement that a group of players confirmed their intent to bring legal action against the RFL due to the government body's failure to protect them from brain damage as a result of concussion. Among those players was former Great Britain international Bobby Goulding, who confirmed that he had been diagnosed with early onset dementia at the age of 49. Reports have been made in the past, and as it's still speculated at this time, that a new insurance company had been found, but at a rate that is believed to be of 1.5 million a year on a rolling contract. This is up from a reported £400,000 a year that the sport was said to have been paying Chubb as the insurers. The new company, I believe to be AXA XL Insurance Company UK Limited, due to their involvement in the community game being pushed by the RFL as the insurance choice in the grassroots form, is now in place, and I think that they are part of the reason that the real changes have come in due to their terms. Take this with a pinch of salt, as I may be wrong, but imagine all these players now, after years of playing and a duty of care was not part of the agreement. Any insurer will be left with massive bills. They don't want to pay out at the best of times any claims that are made. So the RFL would have to be shown that despite all the waivers and the knowledge in part and for the safety of all of those, so a company can, looking at making profit from the income rugby league gives them, the powers that be are still keeping a safety net to keep the insurers happy. Makes a little sense, right? So, the sport is insured for now and would like to do so, as they do not have endless waves of cash to support those players with issues caused by the sport or to pay any compensation due. Despite the hard work to try and get that money in this year with the likes of IMG, Super League Plus, Sky Sports, BBC Sports and any new corporate sponsor, the sport in the UK is nowhere near rich enough to rely on the income of just the TV people giving out. And it's certainly not enough to pay for a union, which the players are threatening to form, despite there already being one. It's the union that's already in place is part of a bigger collective, the GMB Union, which caters for multiple industries. And rugby league players, part of that, would have to garner support of those industries to call on the vote to strike. That way they would have the financial pots to call upon to sustain a long-term strike, as we've seen in the rail strikes, the doctors' strikes, etc, etc, etc. Unfortunately, I don't think too many players, coaches, ex-players are part of that union to make such a difference, so that essentially they don't have a substantial voice in that union. That means the next thing the players would have to do is form their own union, which Alex Walmsley pointed out in his own column in the Rugby League Live, which points out that he was given the blueprints by the Australian RLPA boss Clint Newton in 2019. And no one took it up. I think, again, this is due to players not wanting to pay for the service, despite it being in their best interest. At this moment in time, I think this is just generalisation, just speculation at this point. They see the Australian model as one that they want, due to the players not paying into it anymore, or never did, as part of the TV revenues pay for it. Our UK sport is not in a position to do that, as Sky money has decreased year on year and has only gone up a little as the sport has gone out on its own, or with Channel 4 and BBC Sport interest. Speaking of which, at this point, I would like to thank Channel 4 for generating more money for Rugby League, helping get the sport the BBC deal. You are welcome at any time to come back. Do a lot of good with the sport and growing the sport. We've done it. At this time, I don't think the sport has to go this way with the head injuries assessment, unless there is a major influx of interest or money coming in the next 3 to 6 months. Oh, and I don't think an NRL takeover is the answer either. That is only looking for the good of the game in Australia, where the NRL is based. But I could be wrong. All this information could be just one that's leading me down the road thinking that route. Players could be wanting to pay for a union. We'll have to see about the response. Alex Walmsley said they haven't before. Is it too late for them to try now? No. They'll have to pay for it for themselves. And realise that they won't get paid by the clubs while they strike. Anyway, that's my little rant, and I'll be back later with reports of the 2 games and possibly some of the rugby league news. In the meantime, please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I will end the video as I always do by saying I wish you all the best, so please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.